Bum 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 bum. Chat last.
Welcome to That's Ranked podcast where we rank your ideas
What's happening?
on the fly. My name is Liam. Oh, what happened then?
I'm Rob.
I'm Mac, and I'm confused.
Hello, Mac. Why are you confused, Mac?
Oh, I started work at 5 o'clock this morning, so let's just leave it at that.
Okay, fair enough. And then we've invited you in, just chucked you straight into the throes of a rank without any preparation whatsoever. But that's okay. That's half the fun, and that's what we do here. That's what we do here, isn't it, Rob?
That is what we did, and we know that Mac's a particularly he's a fast thinker and he's a good performer. In fact, we've just found out that Mac is a TikTok phenomenon.
Yeah, he is.
I mean, I don't know whether blokes from a mine site can constitute a phenomenon, but apparently
I think so. Don't sell yourself short, man.
PAs. Well,
Don't sell yourself short.
We'll see whether it spreads to other mine sites. Like COVID a couple of years ago.
And now, and currently also at the moment, it's running rough. But we aren't here to talk about COVID. We are here to rank. That's what we do. Rank your ideas on the fly. We're available everywhere. iTunes. We're on Spotify, on Amazon, all the places you can go back and listen to our archives. This is, after all, episode 101. We're starting fresh. We're going around the horn again, and Mac has been very kind to join us for this episode. We normally do it where we rank things on the fly, but tonight, given that it's New Year's Eve and the birds are chirping, given that it's New Year's Eve, it's actually, I can hear that. Yeah. That's all right. It's lovely. Birds,
or is it just the squeakiness of the internet where you are?
It's probably that too. Oh my God. It's becoming a running theme of this podcast. Liam's internet's bad. He never has the list ready to go. It is what it is. We gotta roll with it, don't we? We gotta roll with it. But tonight we thought this is gonna come out just after New Year's. So we're gonna do a New Year's special here with Mac tonight. Now, Rob, normally this bad boy here, this little wheel, I'll bring it into frame. Here it is. We need ideas for this wheel. How do people get in touch with us and give us ideas for the wheel?
Well, that's Rank Pod at Gmail. That's Rank Pod at Insta. That's Rank Pod at YouTube. Or you can mail Liam directly, because that may be the only way of reliably getting in contact with him.
It's so bad. It's so bad.
At number 15, that's Rank Street.
That's Rankaville.
That's Rankaville.
That's Rankaville. Lovely. Thank you very much for that. Now, Mr. Mac, let's focus our attention back onto you, my friend. Tell the people at home who may not have heard you on the Gate 42 podcast, may not have seen your lovely face before. Tell us a little bit about yourself. Where'd you come from? Where'd you go, Cotton Eye Joe?
I knew you were going to go there way too early. We're 3 minutes in and we've already mentioned Cotton Eye Joe. Jesus. Hi, I'm Mac. I am a rock climbing flight attendant and DJ. That last part might be relevant to the conversation as we go ahead. I fly for a living, and at the weekends I play at Mint in Northbridge. Lots of cheesy pop bangers. So this is kind of my wheelhouse.
What is your wheelhouse, Mac? I don't think we've told anyone what the actual topic is tonight. What are we going to be ranking tonight?
All right. Well, we are ranking party bangers to bring in the new year to.
That's right. Party bangers to bring in the new year to. Now, I'm excited, Rob, that we have Mac here, because he'll actually know what he's talking about.
Is that what we're ranking? Party bangers?
Oh, we can.
I mean, would you call them party bangers?
Is it just music, New Year's music broadly, or party bangers in particular?
No, I think the rank was, and we know where Mac's going now. We know where his brain's going. But the rank was songs to bring in the new year. But it can be party bangers if you want it to be a party banger.
Songs to bring in the new year. Yeah, good. Because I've actually got a few left field suggestions.
Oh,
even though left field, like that is a group that you could ring in the new year to. This is a left field suggestion, which is not necessarily a banger per se, but more of a banged part. No, not a banged. I don't know what I'm trying to say now.
Well, I mean, what if it's been a melancholy year? You don't want to bring in the new year with a banger. Or you're going to be there like crying through your tears, just going.
And there's stages. There's stages, because New Year's can be reflective. New
Yeah, yeah.
Year's can be like just party, letting some steam out. New Year's can be looking forward with goals. And there's stages of the New Year. There's the pre-drinks, there's the startup, then there's the party, and then there's the long drive home, so to speak. The end of the night.
Yeah.
Maybe you are a little bit more sentimental. So there's lots of songs that could go in lots of different parts of a New Year's evening, depending on where you're at personally for New Year's Eve.
100%. I like that you've actually decided to get into the festive season. The festive season, we're past that. The New Year's season early, Rob, with your lovely background there. What have you got? It's like you're in Sydney all of a sudden.
New Year's Eve, Sydney Harbour. Yeah, absolutely.
You guys been to Sydney and watched the fireworks over New Year's?
No, I have not.
No.
Have you?
No, I've been during Vivid, and that was spectacular in itself.
So I have been when my ex was in the military, so we went down to the Navy base down there. We watched these fireworks from right up close. Now, let me tell you something. Fireworks I'm like a bit whatever about, but these were off the charts spectacular. Like they know how to do a fireworks display in Sydney. That is for sure. Like that picture actually isn't too far off what it's actually like. It's like just everything just going up. It's quite neat with the accompanying music to go along with it. Can I remember any of those songs?
Celebrate good times. Come on. There's a party going on around here. I mean, that's number one, right? That's everyone's number one.
I mean, that was going to be my number one, so I might as well get out of the way now.
I need to upfront do a disclaimer here. Okay, over the course of this conversation, I haven't actually told you guys that there is a fourth guest who is going to be taking part in this conversation. You have Mac, rock climbing flight attendant and DJ, who plays the party bangers, so on and so forth. Okay, and I'll be giving my critical opinion on what constitutes, good, bad to get the party going and the crowd.
Sure.
Then you also have Cool Mac, who goes to the big day out, who is musically opinionated and actually has cooler choices and actually knows music. And when you mention the Venga Boys, part of me dies inside. But I'm not being paid to play them, so I'm not going to listen to them. So they're the two people that will be given opinions from this. It's a big day out. It's like authentic, like 1997, 98 big day out cap, which is all worn and represents the cool side of the dude who likes good music and resents the Venga Bus. But this guy recognized the power of the Venga Bus.
True, I understand. The Venga Bus is very powerful, especially when it's coming.
It is.
Yes. So,
and you're paid.
I'm not being paid right now, so I'm not going to listen to it.
You're paid good money to drive that Venga Bus into station, whereas deeper down, Mac, there's a part of you that just wants to, not jump on that bus at all and just stay hanging back at the bus station, maybe taking a walk to the park, finding out the cool kids.
I've got something to tell you. I got news for you.
I got something to tell you. I got news for you.
It's in there. All right. Can we go back to the detachable penis? Because that's a riff that.
that was for those listening at home. That was pre-pod recording, but it's also maybe a banger New Year's Eve tune as well.
I wouldn't call that a banger though. It's pretty slow. It's pretty slow. Is it a banger?
No. It's
but
not
even if you don't know the words, you can just sing detachable penis and go dun 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 dun.
It sounds like everyone's on ketamine chewing their face off to that song. That's what it sounds like. Crikey, man.
And you know what? That's a fucking good thing.
I've just realized, Mac, for people who are listening to this on the actual audio version, they're not going to have no idea how to determine which one is Big Day Out Mac and which one is cool bloke Mac.
Well, that backfired, didn't it?
That's all right. That's all right.
Rob
I think you can tell by the tone of your voice alone which one is the. Do you need to take 5?
Do I? I don't know.
I don't know.
My beloved has just went. Sure, I'll just take one moment because the door is locked as well. I'm just going to put my thing on mute for a second while you.
We'll talk it out. See, now I'm worried, Rob. Now I'm worried because we've got like a real musician, not a musician, but like a music guru in the house now. He's going to pull us apart. True. He's going to absolutely pull us apart. Because you sung Celebration just then. You sung Celebration.
Somewhat of a music guru.
Yeah, but Celebration was going to be my number one, like unironically. Hey, Mac. Hello.
Hey, you. Sorry. Partner returned home, back door locked itself or whatever, and some reason Calvin Harris started playing on my earphones. I don't want Calvin Harris right now.
No. Is that Big Day Out, Mac, or is that...
No, that was, I don't know, iTunes just kicked on because I touched my headphones. Anyway.
It knows what you like, Mac. It knows what you like, and that is Calvin Harris. Is that a good one to bring in the new year? I wonder.
All right, so Calvin Harris admittedly does have some party bangers. I mean, like, One Kiss, One Kiss is, that to me actually does take me back to, New Year's Eve / Christmas. That was 5 years ago now. So, I would actually put that as a modern day, pop classic party banger, great for New Year's. Calvin Harris, One Kiss with Dua Lipa.
Is it good for New Year's just because it gets people going, or is there anything about it that makes it good for New Year's, or is it just like, is it about New Year's? Is it about unrequited love?
From memory, it sits at about 124 beats per minute, which is it's pretty upbeat. It's got recognized. It's got a great hook, and people do sing along to it. One kiss is all it takes. Falling in love with me. It's pretty good. It's a well-crafted pop song that gets everyone going.
Okay. See, this is what I'm thinking.
That's actually my first suggestion. That's a pretty good one.
Well, good for you, Mac. I've never heard the song in my life, but good for you. You've done it.
You haven't?
No, I don't think so.
One Kiss, Calvin Harris.
I might have heard it, but I just don't. My brain's not going there for New Year's. Oh, okay. You can't play it.
I'm now putting on a country hat. Okay. Do yourself a favor.
Yeah. And go listen to one. How many hats do you have ready to go for tonight, Mac?
I didn't realize quite how many actually they mentioned. Sure.
See, in my head, Rob, I'm not sure if you're the same as me, but my brain is going to not just what you can play at New Year's Eve, but what you might play for reasons that it is kind of synonymous with the New Year's Eve and kind of bringing in the new year. Where's your brain go?
Well, I guess I don't typically have a big New Year's Eve, and I haven't for some time. And I guess that's maybe the challenge for me. So a New Year's Eve often for me is a bit more of a quieter affair. I was definitely thinking about mood, and I was thinking about like a song to drive home to in particular, like a reflective tune, like what do I want to kind of like cap off the year and gear myself up for the next one? Maybe something a bit more wistful, a little bit more pondering, a little bit more like, oh, okay. Or something of like a little bit of resilience, that's kind of getting me up for the fight for the new year. Like, come on, like, that's bigging me up. So I kind of think it's less about the party for me, and it's more about where it takes place in life. It's that little timeline point.
I do like your idea, that there's different parts of parts of New Year's that has different times. As you're coming into the midnight countdown, though, we're kind of ramping up into that midnight countdown, and I reckon that's where our sweet spot's going to be for tonight. I reckon just in that little bit, right as you're coming into midnight, and bang, New Year's Eve, done. 2024 begun. Which by the time this comes out, it's January 2nd now. So Happy New Year, everybody. Oh. Probably should have started with that. Happy New Year, everybody. Welcome to 2024.
Woohoo! Oh, yeah. It is. Happy New Year.
Wow.
I'm definitely thinking, my mind first went to the taxi ride home. Like that's where my mind goes.
Yeah, if you can get a taxi.
Is that sign of your age, though, Rob? With all due respect. Yeah, like.
Sorry, Matt.
Say it again, Matt.
With all due respect, is that a sign of your age, though?
No, I've always been like a bit weird that way. I've always been a bit of a deep, melancholic thinker. I don't like crowds.
So I'm
never been a festival person.
So Radiohead is that one of your suggestions tonight then?
Depends on what the year was like. No Radiohead. No Radiohead.
Yeah.
So you would have really scored points if you said, well, which era of Radiohead? Because if you'd actually said Idiotech from the Kid A album, then that to me, yes, that's reflected. That's like, yes, let's get that in the taxi ride home. Yeah. Idiotech. Yeah. Everyone goes to Creep,
Oh, I wouldn't go to Creep too often. Maybe,
no,
but no, probably more the In Rainbows. I'm a bit more of an In Rainbows kind of Radiohead guy, I think.
as much as I would love to say it's a Party Banger Jigsaw falling into place, I mean, that, yeah, stellar song, but not really New Year's Eve.
Not really New Year's Eve. There's not too many New Year's Eve ones on that one.
I must admit, like, I'm going to change the subject because and Rob knows this, do not know a whole lot of Radiohead, but I wanted to come back to Mac and say, when Rob sang Celebration before by Kool and the Gang, you had like a visceral reaction against it. Why?
I had a big reaction.
Yeah, why?
Because
what's wrong with?
There are songs that do actually have a purpose that I don't recognize as good songs. They're just product for a purpose, and Celebration by Kool and the Gang is massively one of those. I cannot enjoy it. It is just the ultimate in cheesy product.
Yeah, exactly.
That I just, it's
that's why it's so good.
And even no, I mean it's right up there with Hey Baby, where I actually resent playing Hey Baby by DJ Otzi. So yeah, no, I don't have time for Celebration at all. And
that one.
Even every time that it's covered, I mean, like Kylie Minogue did a cover of it, and a couple of other people as well, and they never add anything new to it. It's just an exact carbon copy of the original.
That's because you don't have to change perfection, Mac. You don't have to change perfection, mate. It's good enough as it is.
No, I mean, like, what's the point in covering unless you're going to bring something, a new nuance or a new reason to listen to this version rather than stick with the original. I mean, like, It's Raining Men, Jerry Halliwell. Sure, the original by the Weather Girls is a big party banger, and that's terrific. But after ABBA's "Gimme Gimme Gimme," it is really good to play the original by the Weather Girls. But if you do want to shift into a higher energy, the Jerry Halliwell version actually works better. So it depends on the moment, because Jerry Halliwell does actually bring a higher, more camp energy to it.
Mm-hmm. I can only agree. And this is what's going to be interesting tonight, because, well, I think Rob's Googling frantically to try and find some sort of song to put onto his...
I'm not Googling, no. I'm just I'm organizing. I've realized I'm trying to organize my selections into the categories.
How many do you have? Oh, my God.
I need to connect power, so 1 second.
Yeah, of course.
I've got a few I want to talk about, to be honest.
Wow. Okay.
I've got three. I've got 3 groups of 4.
What the?
And then I've just got 1 band.
Okay. Well, you can choose 3.
Which is like a party time band.
Your top 3, though. You got to make sure you get a top 3 in there. You got to choose a top 3.
I thought we were just generically bantering about New Year's.
But if you have 17 to talk about.
I have 17, but I still want to go through them. I'd like to go through the ones that I've got, because I'd like to touch on the 3 types of songs that I've got.
Man, I've literally written down 3 total. 3 different songs, and one of them has already been lambasted and I keep saying castrated. It's not what I meant to say. Ostracized.
Wait, Did you actually have Celebration? Was that one of yours?
Hell yeah, I did have Celebration. Of course I did. Do you know why? Do you know why? Because that takes me back. Let's get into it. That takes me back to my childhood. Like, I used to listen to that all the time. Like, I used to sit in the front yard. We used to walk down to the golf course at nighttime, watch the fireworks over the river and stuff like that down in Bico. And every night we used to put on the little radio, and the little radio would just pump out Celebrations by Kool and the Gang, and it would always come on just as you came into the countdown. So it'd be like 10. 9, 8, 7, and it just go all the way down to, and then as soon as number 1 hit, it was just like Happy New Year. So that in my head is like synonymous with New Year's Eve. It's just like
I respect that. I get that. If I am going to defend one version of Celebration, though, it will be the version that Ross tries to play on the bagpipes in an episode of Friends for Chandler and Monica's wedding.
I've never watched Friends. I did not like that show. Did not get into it at all. So I cannot relate to that.
Literally, badly played on the bagpipes. Yeah.
I get it, Mac. You don't like Celebrations by Kool and the Gang. I understand. You don't like the song anymore.
I get where you're coming from. I get where you're coming from there.
Well, that's what it's about, though. It's not about how good the song is. We don't need to know about how good the song is or how bad the song is. Like, I listened to that song literally. Well, I cannot remember the last time that I listened to that song in earnest. I never just put it on and go, hey, let's put Celebration by Kool and the Gang on. Like I never do that. It's not on any of my playlists. But when it comes to New Year's Eve, chuck that on for me. Chuck it on. Now, while you're away just then, I'm not sure if you heard on your headphones, but Rob has a plethora. Yeah, he has a plethora of songs.
He's got 17. He's got 17.
No, he doesn't have 17. I exaggerated.
I can do 3. I'll do 3. I'm gonna do it. I got a 3. I'll do.
So you don't have to rack them down, but if it goes in, like what's closest to Celebrations by Kool and the Gang? There's going to be one song that's close to that.
Many. Do you want me to get into it?
Yeah, go on.
Well, if you're talking about the celebration stage of the evening, these are the 4 songs I've got selected for my celebratory dance. But Don't Stop Me Now by Queen.
Mm-hmm.
Because I want to have that momentum going into the new year. I've got
Don't Stop Me.
Actually, I think Katy Perry. Roar or Firework. I'm gonna enjoy a bit of a boogie to one of those ones. Dancing in the Dark by Bruce Springsteen. But the one celebratory band that's guaranteed to get me going on the dance floor with big upwards and down motions is always going to be the Beastie Boys. It's going to be like because the one thing that you've got to do at New Year's Eve is you got to fight for your right to party, right? Like,
that's a good one. That's a good one actually. That's a good one. Yeah.
I'll put my big day out hat. I support you.
Thank you, Matt. Thank you. I will bust the groove to any Beastie Boys track. But I think Don't Stop Me Now by Queen. I think is also a good one for if you're trying to really just celebrate.
But okay, going back to what Mac was saying before about how Celebrations is a corny song. Like Fight for Your Right to Party is kind of intrinsically corny as well in its own fun way. It is.
It is, and it certainly comes from an era of the Beastie Boys that they themselves ain't super proud of.
No, that's true.
But there's no denying the production by Rick Rubin on those tracks, and it captures.
But you drop it onto a dance floor. This is the thing about these corny songs. Like we've all danced to them at every single wedding, at every single whatever party we've been to. These tracks inevitably find their way in, and if you're gonna drop Celebrate Good Times, most of the people are going to go, whereas if you drop Got to Fight for Your Right to Party by the Beastie Boys, even though we've all heard it and danced to it a million times before, we're all going to be like, yeah,
people aren't going to be like, ugh, Celebrations. They're not. They're going to dance to it like you're saying. Why are you having to go?
I would leave the dance floor. No, you wouldn't.
I guarantee you wouldn't. I've seen you dance to it already before.
When?
In Japan.
When?
I'm making that up. I've never seen you dance to it. I don't think I've actually ever listened to the song since I've known you, to be honest with you. Like Celebrations is a song for me, like from my childhood. It's like gone. It's gone back. It's gone back.
You know what the song I love? Dancing in the Dark by Bruce Springsteen. That song is a song.
And you know what? I'll pay that. That is a song that I never even think to listen to. But you're right. I mean, put that on, and everyone knows it. And it's a good.
People sing along to it.
So are we just talking songs that are good now? Because it sounds like that's what that is. Because why would Dancing in the Dark be a good New Year's Eve song?
Because I wouldn't rank it highly, but I certainly wouldn't object to someone put it on.
No, of course not.
Because people are dancing to it. Because it's dancing in the dark, Liam. It's the actual description of what people are doing.
Why is it?
Well, as you say, Hot Chip actually did a really good version of that, which my partner absolutely hates. So I'll put it on. I love it because it kind of like they take it on a big 8.5 minute journey, which even includes part of All My Friends by LCD Sound System. And I think it's brilliant. But still.
Okay.
I think Mac has already flexed his music knowledge, and I'm impressed.
Well, Matt, he's a music maestro. He has an awards ceremony. I'm not sure when the last time you did it was, Mac, but I'm not sure if it was last year or the year before.
Actually, it's been a few years. I haven't done it for a few years now.
Every year he used to run a huge old music, and I never got involved. Not because I didn't want to, but because I was intimidated by the musical knowledge of him and his friends.
So just a bit of a background there. So yes, we used to do this thing we called it the AMXC Awards, named after a pirate radio station that me and my best mate used to run when we were teenagers. And really just exploring every avenue of we were just devouring as much music as we possibly could. And we commandeered a we commandeered a hospital radio station and put up a mini transmitter, a broadcast to a 3-mile radius from the studio, and we just use that as a springboard to explore new and old music, artists that we're discovering for the first time. So we did this music awards thing named after that, which celebrated, it was like a Hot 100 where it had more categories. People would vote for their top 20 songs, top 20 albums, top 10 TV shows, movies, best movies, worst songs even. And it was just like me and mates. We did this big party afterwards. So yeah, we did that for many, many years. We lasted in 2019. But yeah, because people gradually listened to less and less whole albums and being less and less familiar with new stuff. And it became harder to even get those votes. So yeah, but it was a good run. We did it for 18 years.
18 years, wow. That is a very good run. That is a very good run. But it does explain his music aficionado-ness. I'm making it words now.
I'll actually say, I mean, you can imagine, me and mates of mine, we have such cool music taste. We have, like artists like the War on Drugs won it one year, and Liam's like, who the fuck are the War on Drugs? But Taylor Swift, Shake It Off won it one year, and I think deservedly so. Alongside other people like Franz Ferdinand, Interpol, they won it. And I think CeeLo Green, you actually won it one year as well. So, yeah, I was
introduced to a lot of music. I was introduced to a lot of music, but even just by looking at Mac's posts on like Facebook and all that kind of stuff about who won, who didn't win, got a good introduction to a whole lot of different things. I think Interpol, I first heard Interpol through looking at those lists. So yeah, it was a cool little thing to do.
Right.
Yes. Yeah, did you go see them recently?
So Interpol won the second year. I did not, which I was really, I can't remember what I was doing. I was really busy. But the last gig I saw a few weeks ago was Kraftwerk, which were amazing.
Oh, yeah, I saw that came. I was really upset that I didn't get to go and see them, but that's okay. It's just, I haven't been to a gig in so long.
Kraftwerk, as great as they are, I'm not even suggesting them for this New Year's.
Go on. Shoot at us. Shoot some numbers at us.
Okay.
Some names.
All right.
Go on.
Do you want Mint DJ Mac for a couple of suggestions, or do you want bigged out hat wearing Cool Mac? Suggestion.
Rob, any suggestions? I really don't mind which way he goes. Which one would you like to see?
As long as I get a little bit of both in the podcast, I'm happy.
Well,
you can dish up either slice first, Mac.
All right. At Mint, I guarantee New Year's Eve this coming weekend, I will absolutely one of the biggest songs of the night, which gets everybody going. And even now, even though I've heard it a billion times, I'm actually still not sick of it. Whitney Houston, I Want to Dance with Somebody Who Loves Me.
Yeah.
As soon as you hear that very first second, woof, everyone's like, yes, it unifies everybody. Everyone, even the cool kids like me, love that song.
Yeah.
In fact, I've even got a decent mash. Sorry. Sometimes I do play. I've got a brilliant mashup, which goes, it starts off with We Found Love by Calvin Harris again with Rihanna. We found love and it goes, and then it gets to the breakdown. It goes into light strikes upon the hour as the sun begins to fade, and then it melds. It has like, oh, I want to dance with somebody with the whole Calvin Harris bam, 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 bam in the background. It goes freaking off, and it sits at 130 BPM. So I've got so many choices to go to. Like "Sexy Bitch" by David Guetta and Akon, or Gangnam Style, or 130 BPM is a sweet spot where there's so many choices to go from. Go on to. But no matter how you play it, I Want to Dance to Somebody, Whitney Houston, must play at any New Year's time.
It's a classic as well. It's a classic one that kind of, when you're coming into that midnight stuff, the midnight hour, putting that on, just because people, I'm not sure about, but people tend to kind of dip off about 10, I reckon. Like they start early and they get on the drink around about 1 p.m. because it's like a big day, right? It's New Year's Eve. It's a big old day.
They get too hard too soon. Too
hard too soon. So when you get into that, 10, 11, people are starting to kind of come down the other side of the roller coaster. That Dance with Somebody, man, I agree. It's one of those songs that it's like a trigger. It's in your head. You're like, oh, ooh.
Yeah. Trigger is the perfect word. Absolutely.
Everyone wants to dance with somebody. When it's getting near to we've all been programmed with this kind of societal expectation that we're supposed to have someone to snog at midnight, like it makes any difference to the year or that's some very weird cultural thing. And but deep down, I mean, maybe many of us are searching for that little connection, and we think that maybe New Year's Eve is the night there was a little bit of sprinkle of magic in the air. Maybe it'll happen.
Maybe
it often doesn't on those nights when you're really expecting it, does it? But we can dream.
Yeah, we can dream. You may say I'm a dreamer.
I guess that's what
I'm not the only one.
Yeah,
I mean, again, that is such an amazing song, but I would never play that on New Year's Eve.
No. That would be like a first one after the clock has struck midnight, potentially, or like when you're trying to get people to go the heck home. I know. Yeah,
I disagree. So, stroke midnight, you've got to go with Auld Lang Syne. I mean, it's the law, right? It's international law, Auld Lang Syne.
Okay.
But then you go into big, powerful sing-alongs. And staying with my DJ Mac, keeping the cool hat off, I would like to put forward a second suggestion. Angels by Robbie Williams.
Oh wow! Okay, so a ballad, a sing-along ballad.
That's the quintessential. That's the quintessential clock ticks over.
Scream it at the top of your lungs. Everyone knows the chorus. Everyone's going,
offer me protection.
When I was living in the UK, and that song was the quintessential one then. This was many years ago. And England played. I was working at a pub, and it was a sports pub. And England played France in the quarterfinal of the Euros, and France won. And the DJ put that song on, and because it's normally a song that you're hand in hand and you're having a good moment, the DJ put that song on, and this guy approaches us at the bar and said, "Are you taking the piss? Are you taking the piss?" Like, he was really pissed off that we put that song on at that moment, because it is kind of a celebratory song, and for the many of the people in the pub, I was in England at the time.
Get Ravage in. Ravage.
There's a kitty.
There's a kitty on the screen, everybody. Kitty wanted attention. Kitty got attention. Say something.
If you put the Big Day Out hat on the kitty, does it become Big Day Out Kitty?
Yeah. But
there we go. Cool kitty.
What a patient little cat. What a patient cat.
That guy almost literally got into a fight. Like, he wanted to fight us because we put on Angels by Robbie Williams.
There's a time and a place for Angels. There's a time and a place for Angels.
And on that point, like Daryl Braithwaite horses, okay? So again, big. I mean, I always drop horses when I've got a room full of people, because I never save it to the end of the evening because people want to hear it. So I play it when I've got people who want to hear it. However, anyone from Adelaide, if there's anyone from Adelaide in the room, they come over and say, "Are you about to close?" It's like, no, why? It's like, well, you're playing horses because apparently it's the law in South Australia to only play horses as the last song of the night.
Yeah, I've heard of that here as well. Like, once horses comes on, it's time to wrap everything up. I didn't know it was an Adelaide specific thing though. That's interesting. I do like the idea that they've written it into law as well, like in government. All these big sweeping policy changes. And the last thing on the bill today is horses must be played before the pubs close every night without fail.
Yes.
If you do not play horses, the pub must remain open in perpetuity.
Yes.
That'd be hilarious. Like, if you go to some like massive hardcore techno club, and then at the end of the night they have to play horses.
Horses, yeah. It'll be like a Junglist remix.
That's the way it's gonna be.
I must admit, I mean, like, you may have detected from my accent, I'm not from around these ear parts.
No, but you've been in these here parts for quite some time. I've been here for 27 years, so yeah.
I moved out to Australia in 1995, and it did take me a few years to learn some Aussie essentials like horses, and apparently John Farnham had more than one song. Never had any idea until 1996.
Johnny Farnham's got some bangers. That is for sure.
Well, he was a one-hit wonder, and apparently he was from Miami, as far as I was concerned when I was younger. But anyway,
Really?
Really?
Johnny
that was
Phillips
my knowledge of
definitely
it. Wow.
Yeah, interesting. I hope you now know the difference, and that he's not from Miami.
Oh, yeah.
Nor a one hit wonder.
Yeah. But still,
Yeah,
that said,
Sadie-
You're the Voice is still the only song that anyone ever asks for.
Well, I guess so. I guess it is the one that people, but it's got the start.
Oh,
No, that's Money Jack.
no
That's
denying
Money
it.
Jack.
It's iconic. It's terrific. No denying its greatness whatsoever.
I could see that making an appearance on New Year's Eve for sure. Do you know what else?
Again.
Do you know what else I reckon? Go on.
Go.
mate.
Go.
No, go.
No, you go.
You go. I insist you go.
No, just saying. You're like right after midnight. It's a hot contender that I would put right after Old Lang Syne, Rabbit's Angels, Rabbit's,
Yeah.
You're the Voice.
100%.
Anything that gets everyone arm in arm singing until they've got no larynxes left.
That's right. I mean, is it really even a New Year's Eve? If you're going out for a party on New Year's Eve, if you come back the next day and start the new year with a voice, you've probably not done it right. You've probably missed a step somewhere along the way. I think. Prince, 1999. Yes or no?
100% yes. Absolutely.
That's another one that I think that's from my childhood. It was always getting that rotation on New Year's Eve, especially around, funnily enough, Y2K. Because when did that song come out, Mac? That would have been like late 80s or
I
early 90s.
want to say from memory, and I really don't want to be wrong here, but I want to say 1984.
I'm going to find out real quick.
I
I'm going to see
believe.
how. Let's find out. Live fact check.
I'm most not.
But I mean, because it also is talking about tonight we're going to party like it's 1999. Like it's literally the words are ringing in the new year, so to speak. Do you know what I mean?
I will say I'm disappointed that the popularity has waned over the years, and I wouldn't put it in my top 10 essentials. I play it to the right crowd, but phenomenal song.
You wouldn't be playing it to Gen Zers. I think the late millennials like Rob and myself would probably dig it. That is for sure. 1982, Mac. 1982.
No, 82. Wow. Okay.
82. So that I don't have much more to say about that particular song, other than it's something that I associate with my New Year's Eve celebrations and parties. Absolutely. Rob, are you still curating?
I do remember one time I actually played it at a club, and I had fucked up some setting on. I'd done a beat match by mistake, and it started playing 1999 by Prince, but at half the speed. And it took me about 30 seconds to realize it was going brum, 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 brum.
Party over.
And people were like saying, what the fuck? But because I was like, had my headphones on, I was trying to get up the next track. I hadn't realized until about 30 seconds later, it's like, oh, fuck, and like went to something else and then came back to it. It was like,
all right. So that's literally my contribution. For someone who loves music, like in terms of my like actual knowledge for it, like I know words, but that's about the extent of my usefulness when it comes to music. Rob, what's next? What's next on your agenda? I'm a
little bit out of a fish out of water here as well, to be honest, because I don't typically host parties. I don't DJ. I don't. But I will bust it on the dance floor. I definitely, once the music gets me going, I will bust it on the dance floor. But I don't know if New Year's is my thing. I'm definitely much more of a reflective listener. So it was a bit more like I immediately started thinking about like post midnight and like long taxi ride home songs. And I had "Take Me Home, Country Road" by John Denver. Because of its very literal, like it's time to go home.
Take me home. That would actually that wouldn't be a bad one. The Rob Mac's face is saying it all right now. Oh, Big Day Out hats back on. He's not liking that song.
I
feel like I'm about to get judged. You hate that song? I love that song. I love the sing along. It's a great sing along.
To the place I belong, West Virginia.
Now, there's a song by the Tragically Hip called "Bob Cajun." Do you guys? Either of you guys know that song, "Bob Cajun" by the Tragically Hip? It's a Canadian.
I mean, I know the track. I know the Tragically Hip. I don't know that song.
So Bob Cajun for me would be like, if I had to pick a number one, it would be this song. And it's really not a party song at all. It's really quite like there is a little bit of melancholy to it. But it's one of those ones where there's like, and I did a bit of research into the meaning of it. And it's an anti-racist album. And it's this kind of, it's about this police officer. And it's about his reflections post like a fascist riot, like this fascist riot camp, and then he had a really bad day at work, and then afterwards he reflected on it, and he went out to the country to this place called Balkajan, and he looked into the stars, and he kind of just like reflected on this, and it was early morning, and he reflected on this night that he just had, and there's something like, for me, there's something like it's neither good nor bad. Like it's right in the middle, and it just hits this place of meaning, like meaningfulness, if that's even a word. Where when you listen to it, you're like, oh yeah, life is both good and bad, and oh wow, I did some good things this year, I did some bad things this year, and oh yeah, like this kind of resonates a little bit with this kind of. But then trying to find kind of the hope in amongst that picture of having a bad day at work. Do you know what I mean? And I think like there's something about that hits a note for me that I find really resonant. Like, maybe it wasn't all sunshine, but we got there in the end, and now here I am looking up at the stars, and I'm having a beautiful moment, and it's just like it's ponderous. I guess is the way to describe it. Now it's a hard one for me to kind of spruik because no one else has heard it. But I would suggest...
Oh, definitely be checking it out afterwards.
Yeah, it's a good song. It's a great song. But I really wanted to talk about resilience as well. I wanted to find some resilient tracks because I love these tracks meaning. And in the new year, like if you start playing I Won't Back Down by Tom Petty or I'm Still Standing by Elton John. Do you know what I mean? Like they're the songs that kind of get me going. Like, all right, let's fight for another year. Like let's take it on. Don't stop believing by Journey.
Pretty much anything by Elton John, banger, great, and yes, you find the right moment. Again, I'm disappointed with how he's not as popular as he used to, and you can't always guarantee a good reaction when you drop him. But I'm Still Standing, brilliant song, brilliant.
And it's a perfect end of the year song. I'm Still Standing.
Don't you know I'm still standing better than I ever did. Looking like
it's terrific. It's got that funky. It's upbeat, and you can keep. It's one of those songs that you can keep the energy going with. Absolutely,
exactly.
But also, Rob, you did mention. Sorry, you did just mention Journey. Don't Stop Believing. Now, about 12 years ago, Glee popularized that, and that is huge. I can play that pretty much to any crowd, young or old, and that goes off. In fact, it goes really bloody well after Love Story by Taylor Swift.
Really?
Yeah, that's one of my little tricks. I'll often do the two together. But yeah, in fact, my beloved, my wonderful partner, my fiance Rob, actually came down to the club a few weeks ago, and and sat in the DJ booth with me, and actually dropped "Don't Stop Believing," and even he was surprised, like, how do these guys know this? Because it went off. It's one of my never fails.
Yeah, that is a banger.
TV show. That's a banger, and there's something about how I love the fact that it's been contemporized. It's like it's found its place in the contemporary culture for a TV show, because there's a lot of music does, like a lot of music. When it's used like the end credits or a key scene, people are like, oh, what's that song? Like, what was that? Kate Bush with Stranger Things, like you drop a song in the middle of a big TV show, all of a sudden.
And as huge as that got, I tried about 3 or 4 times to drop it in a club, and it cleared the dance floor. As huge as it got. Yeah.
Yeah.
So stop doing
stranger
that.
Things have happened, I guess.
Oh, see what you did there.
Well done.
Thanks for joining us. The podcast is now done. Rob, you've won the internet.
Can I? What I'm curious in, Mac, is I want you to chuck that hat on, because you've talked a little bit about DJ Mac, but I want Big Day Out Mac. I want to find out what Big Day Out Mac has to say.
Glad you asked. Now I come out to play. 100%. Absolutely, when wearing this hat, the biggest party banger for a New Year's Eve crowd would be song formerly known as by Regurgitator.
I don't go to parties, baby.
And there it is.
Oh, such a good song, man. That is such a good song.
I have seen that band live more than any other band ever. Probably I've seen them easily about 25 times live. Them and Jebediah.
Yeah, right.
But Gurge, song formerly known as, again, bit of a Prince vibe. That song just never fails to just bring out the best in the good people. Yeah,
great. That's gonna be my head for so long now. Thanks, Big Day Out, Mac.
Mate, that's actually my ringtone. If you call me, that will play. So yeah,
I'm calling Mac. No, I'm just kidding.
Very Big Day Out song as well. Let's face it.
That's it. Big Day Out Mac gets one song with his hat. Come on now, get his hat back on.
Oh no, I'm happy to give you more, but
yeah, keep going. It's also, the end of the world as we know it.
Right, sure. So that brilliant, love it, and if you know the lyrics, then more power to you because it goes really fast. Yeah, brilliant. But I'll also say Disco 2000 by Pulp. Again, after midnight, looking me up in the year 2000 wouldn't be strange when we were fully grown. Fantastic. I mean, everyone goes to Common People. Common People is amazing, but for a New Year's Eve vibe, Disco 2000 because it is reflective as Rob likes. Yeah.
And Common People's too slow for New Year's Eve.
No. I disagree completely. It's just not quite the right. Yeah. Lyrically, it's not quite the same tone as Disco 2000. So it's not quite, it's an upbeat song. I mean, you can drop Common People and people go mad to it. And then you follow it with Blur and Oasis. It's a no-brainer. It's an easy win. Play song 2 by Blur, Wonderwall by Oasis. I mean, easy bracket right there. There's 11 minutes for you. But for New Year's Eve vibe, Disco 2000.
Very nice. Okay.
You know what song would really, what Blur song would really get me in the feels on a New Year's Eve would be Tender.
Really? I wasn't expecting that. I mean, incredible song.
It's a beautiful.
But, I can't think of many gospel-infused songs that I would really drop on New Year's Eve. But
how would you drop it? Well, it could be later, but later on in the evening. Could you drop it late on in the night?
I got to admit, I don't think I would even consider it.
Wow.
And I used to be a DJ at a club called The Loft, and we've had a couple of Loft reunions, which is all this kind of, cool hat stuff. Yeah, like we played Pulp, Nine Inch Nails, Radiohead, Gurge, so on and so forth. And even with that crowd, there is easily 20 other Blur songs that I would play before I even would think about Tender. Easily. I mean, Parklife, Girls and Boys. The Pet Shop Boys did a remix of Girls and Boys. If you want to go high energy and camp. Charmless Man even. Song 2, No Brainer.
Well, that is my challenge to you then, Mac. As a DJ, as a currently practicing DJ. Can I say you that challenge?
Currently practicing DJ.
But again, it's just, even with the coolest crowd, unless it was a wedding where it's been requested as a must play, I simply would not consider it because, unless it's been specifically requested because it means a lot to the bride and groom. I just cannot envisage a moment where that song, as amazing as it is, I would ever play.
Fits the dance floor. Well, there you go. Maybe it's more of a song. It's less for a dance floor, more for like a fire pit, like it's one of those backyard parties with a fire pit.
Sure.
Put the Tender cup on there. Maybe that's the space for it.
Yeah.
All right, lads. So we've hit the business end of the podcast. Here's what I reckon we do. I reckon give yourself a couple of minutes, get yourself a quick top 3. It doesn't have to be exact. It doesn't have to be like perfect. Get yourself a top 3. We're gonna whittle off our top 3s, and then while we do that, I'm gonna get up. What's wrong, Rob?
I wasn't thinking. I'll put one together. It
doesn't matter.
I'm getting into classical music lately, though.
Okay.
And I think classical's pretty good. I think Ave Maria is a good one. My friend's son recently learnt the flute, and they sent me a recording. I'll just play it for you.
Are we going copyright stricken? What,
Can you
what
hear
are we
that?
yeah, but what are we playing?
Ava Maria as a New Year's.
Turn it off. Turn it off. I actually think StreamYard didn't actually play any of that because it tried to delete all the background noise. That was bless.
Oh, really?
All I was hearing was, again, Ross from Friends playing Celebration on the Bagpipes. That's what I heard.
That's basically what it is. That's
Oh,
basically
bless.
what it is.
Bless. Oh dear. All right. So I'm going to quickly get. I'll get you guys to talk about your top threes real quick. I'm just going to try and see if I can find someone who's put a top 10 list together for the best songs of New Year's Eve, and then we can have a quick debate about if they're right or not.
Oh yeah. Well, I've got a list. I've got a list of. Can I fire them off? Yeah, some of these just very quickly.
Please do.
Like your list, yeah, go for it. While you do that, yeah.
Yeah, so Gimme, A Man After Midnight by ABBA. Sure, I would even say for the New Year's Eve vibe, so it's really interesting because in the last couple of years, if you were to say play one song by ABBA and one song only, for the longest period, it would always be Dancing Queen. That's it. It has shifted. It is now Gimme.
It's a better song.
Right?
Where? How did that happen?
Sorry?
How did that happen? How did that cultural shift happen?
I'm not sure. I must have missed a cultural moment, whether it's a Glee episode or something like that, but it is now definitely default. You don't get me wrong, you can still drop Dancing Queen and everyone go absolutely bonkers for it. And there's probably about 4 ABBA songs that I would drop with 100% confidence. But the one that people ask for is Gimme. Right? As a new track, this list has actually got Rush by Troye Sivan, which is huge this year, and I drop it in. It sits at about 130 BPMs, which is my sweet spot.
It is,
and it's a modern banger. It's terrific. Timber by Pitbull and Keisha, absolutely 100%. It goes well with Cotton Eye Joe, 5, 6, 7, 8. Even Man, I Feel Like a Woman. It goes well with those.
Mm-hmm.
It's also got one kiss to Calvin Harris. We've already spoken about that.
I'm going out tonight. I'm feeling all right. Gonna let it all hang out.
We haven't had enough Liam in this episode, actually.
I've been holding it back, man. I've been holding it back. All I've wanted to do is sing all episode. But I've been good.
You're a performer just waiting to burst out of your show, aren't you?
Honestly, I might just be.
Yeah. Teenage Dirtbag by Wheatus. Yes.
Oh wow, yeah. True. That's a good shout. Yeah.
And I would also agree with this one for a New Year's party vibe. Let's Get Loud by Jennifer Lopez.
That's a good song. I like that too. Yes.
Yeah.
Let's get loud.
100%. No one can argue against Wanna Be by the Spice Girls.
I could, but I won't because
You'd be wrong.
There are some songs. There are some songs now, and I'm sure you get this a lot, Mac. But I mean, what's my excuse? I'm not a DJ. But there are some songs I listen to now. I'm just like, I don't want to hear that anymore. I've heard that. It's like when when Bohemian Rhapsody comes on, I'm like, I don't care.
This is from the man that put "Celebrate Good Times" by Cooley on the game.
Oh, yeah, but the difference is I haven't heard that song in about 15 years, so it's still fresh.
Have you not been to where have you been? Like, have you just gone to the bathroom every time that song's come on? Because that is the song that you can't get away from.
I don't listen to the radio. There's no radio at work. I haven't worked in a job that's had a radio at work. I haven't really been out New Year's Eve for a little while, and when I do, it's just usually like a pub who don't play it. So yeah, that's where I've been. That's where I've been. Okay.
What about? I'm going to say. I don't know. I'm not a DJ, and I'm not. I'm really just. I don't know music very well. But I'm going to say.
You do know music well.
I'm going to say "Empire State of Mind" by Jay-Z and Kanye. I think that's always good when it gets dropped on the dance floor.
Yes, again for a down tempo one. and it appeases the R&B crowd because the Jay-Z rap is actually pretty slick. And when Alicia Keys kicks on with the New York, that gets all the girls. So it unifies the guys who want to be, the rap stars. It gets the girls together to bring out their divas. The two come together quite beautifully. It is actually magic when you drop that.
And I'm a low tempo guy, Mac. In case you haven't figured that out yet, I'm all about the low tempo. What about Dog Days Are Over by Florence and the Machine? That's like a. How does the dance floor respond to that? I mean, that's hard to find a space for.
Does anyone like Florence?
I got to admit, I'm struggling to even remember how it goes. Of course, I know the song.
Dark days are over. The dark days are gone. That one.
What did you say, Lamb? Does anybody like Florence and the Machine?
Yeah, they're all right.
I mean, I think she was very much. Florence was definitely of a moment, and that moment has passed. And she just hasn't really stuck around in the consciousness.
Well, it's stuck around in my consciousness,
that's
and that's
true.
all it
Okay.
is.
That's true.
And it is a little bit cliche, but I think like there's a message to it, isn't there? There's like a little bit of resilience to it, which I like songs that have that resilient kind of let's fight, let's take on the new year. Let's keep going,
See that amazing, it's still a banger, and people. It pleasantly shocks me how I get a crowd of like 19 to 24-year-olds who go mad singing every word to Take On Me. And they love it.
Do you know what?
They go mad for it.
I reckon because it was used in a video game called The Last of Us. And there was a couple of memes about it.
Fortnite.
What was it? Fortnite?
Yeah,
no, The Last of
the
Us.
game Fortnite. It's in The Last of Us, was it?
It's in The Last of Us. There's a scene in The Last of Us where she plays it. And maybe that's where it was a bit memey as well. I think it's a little bit memey.
All right, lads. I'm gonna quickly do mine because we are pushing to the hour now, so we got to wrap this bad boy up. So here's what I'm going to say. I'll take Celebration Cool and the Gang off the list because apparently
you're
no one
allowed
likes
to.
it anymore.
You're allowed to. That's fine.
It's fine. It's fine.
It's like a screwdriver. It's a tool. It's a tool to do something.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a tool to annoy everybody else. One more time. I think that's a good one to get off into the. It's a simple one. It's nice. Yeah.
And you know what? What goes really well? Yeah, I play One More Time. Everyone loves it. Great track. Goes really well into Movie Feet by Junior Senior. Everybody. Feel good. Those two songs are such feel good, upbeat. EDM. Well, not even EDM, just electronic. Great feel good stuff.
And the last one I'll say is The Final Countdown by Europe, because of course, why wouldn't it be in there? Because you're counting down to the new year.
And anyone who has watched Arrested Development will love that song.
That's true. And only then. All right, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to quickly bring up this little thing here. We're going to quickly tear this apart as quick as we possibly can. What am I doing? I'm pressing the wrong buttons. Okay, here we go. So we should have something on here the screen right about now. Yes, I'm just going to bring this over here so I can actually alter it. Okay, so here we go. Number 10, as you were saying, Auld Lang Syne by Mariah Carey. Mac, is that a good one or not?
I've got to admit, I've not used that version. I've used a traditional version that only lasts about 35, 40 seconds.
That is the traditional version.
It is.
Mariah Carey's 1,000 years old, Nick.
She is, and after next week, she retreats to the sea, where she'll remain for another 12 months.
That's true. Christmas and New Year's, that's it. There we go. End of the world as we know it.
No, in the last year, people have been asking for Fantasy a lot, but I mean, I love REM very much so, and you can argue for this for New Year's Eve simply because of the lyrical theme. I would not drop it myself unless I really had the right crowd.
That's true. A very, very, very niche crowd. Let's go up. Let's see what number 8. Let's go number 8. Anyone? Anyone know what this song is? New Year's Resolution by Otis Redding and Carlin Thomas. No, nothing to say about that one. Let's move on.
Also,
No idea.
I just read it.
Raise Your Glass by Pink. Okay, I can see why that could be something fun to play.
100%. I personally would not choose to listen to that song in my personal life, but
Well, no, because you
can't
can't
deny it's a massive banger. And well, even with that, it's not something I would choose to listen to, but I don't hate it, and it does get the crowd going. It's a never fail. It's an absolute never fail.
So raise your glass if you are wrong.
What about sorry.
All right. Oh,
We'll go through this.
a bit of Bing Crosby. Let's start the new year right. Anyone heard of that one? It's pretty old. I mean, Bing Crosby. No. Max giving me a both hat and there's a New Year's resolution by Camera Obscura. Does anyone know Camera Obscura on number 5? This is from Time Out magazine.
Okay, so they're from the 4AD label. Now, 4AD are a Scottish record label who, as it says there, gave the world Belle and Sebastian. And I think they may have been the British offshoot who bought bands like the Pixies and the Breeders. So cool as fuck, but no.
Never heard of it. All right.
It's just on the list because it's got the word New Year's in the song title. Is that why it's made it onto the list?
I would say so. But we'll go and listen to these afterwards. If you want to have a listen to New Year's Resolution by Camera Obscura, you can go do that. You might be a big fan. Let us know in the comments how they are. Here we go. Final countdown by Europe. I swear. It's literally because it's called the Final Countdown. I don't think there's any other connection between New Year's and that song.
It is also comedy cock rock. It really is.
Oh, yeah. I mean, look at him.
Cock rock.
Yeah,
cock rock. Oh, yeah. Or even or you want the more PG version, yacht rock.
No, it's cock rock. They were wearing those pants were so tight. That's why it was cock rock. I'm sure of it. Is that right, Mac? Is that why it was cock rock?
Yeah.
Because they were just like showing it all to all the ladies and men. Happy New Year by Let's Eat Grandma. What the hell? You guys heard of this song? Yeah.
Someone's really just Googled New Year's songs.
I think so. This is from timeout.com, which I'm pretty sure is a fairly publicized website. People read it a lot. Now, Happy New Year by Let's Eat Grandma. Everyone is asking what the hell that is.
Again, Let's Eat Grandma are a band I only know because I used to read several music magazines every month, but I could not tell you a single song or even hum a single note by them.
Well, now you know one song. It's called Happy New Year, and you can play it at the club this New Year's Eve, according to Time Out magazine.
Can't wait.
Number 2, there we go, 1999 by Prince, as has been discussed. No brainer. Let's see what
is ABBA number 1.
I think it might be number 1, but do you know what song it is?
Again, this list has been so unpredictable. I think even if we went something really obvious, it's not going to be there. Happy New Year by ABBA, sure.
What?
Now, have you guys heard this song?
Yeah, absolutely. I have played it on New Year's Eve as well. It's not that popular, but anyway, as soon as people recognise the ABBA, the voices of ABBA, it's like, yay! So yes, I will play it on New Year's Eve, and no time at all apart from that.
Well, I mean, it's a very much a song of its time.
Whereas other songs by ABBA, like Dancing Queen and Gimme Gimme, you can use those for pretty much any week of the year and any occasion. Happy New Year is very specific.
Very specific. I think you're right, though, Rob. I think the person who did this list just went through and found any song that had the word Happy New Year in it. He knew 4 songs that weren't about New Year's, and then just went, okay, let's find out what every other song that's about New Year's is and chuck it in the list. That's what it is.
That was Bing Crosby.
I'm also kind of surprised that this journalist didn't put in New Year's Day by U2, which isn't that about the terrorist attacks and the troubles?
I think so. It's a real crowd lifter.
Yeah. So, I will say there is a big song that we are missing. Yeah,
John, go on.
Big song that has been missing from our discussion. Outcast, Hey Ya.
Oh, that's just a song that you play to get anyone up and going. It's got that song is magic. That might be one of the best songs of all time, just with how it just gets people going. Gets me going. Hey, yeah. All right, I'm going to stop that. It is a very happy song, but it's not though. I don't think the songs are very happy at all. The words are very happy at all. I think it's quite a morbid song to a tune of a happy jaunt. So, Mac, I'm going to send you this list so you can play this all on your New Year's. I'm assuming you're DJing New Year's Eve, so you're going to be able to play.
Thanks for the
Happy
help.
New Year by. Yeah, you're welcome, man.
Please don't be
I'm
like
always
one
here.
of the many people who come up and say, "Can you play?" Like it's really good. Like it's funky. Like have you got that? Like you know the one I'm talking about. It's like no. Okay, just wait a minute. 10 minutes of like, hang on.
It goes like this.
Right,
It goes
no,
like this. Do
don't.
do 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 do. Can you play that one, please?
Or literally open Spotify. Right. How about that one? How about that one? How about? And if people start doing that, I literally take the phone off them. I'm going to put it over here, put my headphones on, and ignore them while the phone's over here.
That's right.
So I thought you were giving me your
as
phone.
it should be. Yeah,
I
thank
will
you for
say,
the phone.
but
I appreciate it.
requests are good. Requests are fine, but they are exactly that. They're requests. I'm not a jukebox. I don't have it. Well, I do have a slot,
Yeah,
but you don't
it's not an
put
order.
dollar coins in it. I'll play it when the time is right. And I would. And you don't come up and ask when you're going to play my song. When are you going to play my song? Don't do that.
That's it.
No, you definitely don't do that. That's rude. What you
Also-
need is you need hats. You need shut up hats. Where you just put a hat on someone's head and it shuts them up somehow.
Oh, that'd be great.
Or just the hat that says
you know what?
"fuck off."
Another thing I actually do if someone is protesting about the song that I'm playing that the whole crowd are going mad to, but they insist, no, this song is shit and nobody likes it. I actually turn put the headphones on and I turn the monitor speaker that blasts the DJ breath onto maximum and say, sorry, I can't hear you. Sorry, it's too loud. It's great, isn't it? And just start singing along to it because it's like ridiculously loud. That gets rid of them.
I would have thought that coming up and asking the DJ to play your song over and over again would just like naturally put it to the back of the line every single time you ask them when their song is going to be. Like that's how my brain would work. My brain would be like, okay.
No, to be fair, I do listen to requests. I take note of what people are requesting because sometimes they come up with great ideas. Sometimes I have not thought about that. Give it a gamble, it works, and I might even factor that into future sets. People are reasonable. Great, I've got no problem with it. Just be cool.
Just be cool, man. Just be cool.
Be cool.
It's a good life mantra. Good life mantra. All right, lads. Thank you for joining us for this. Well, we're going to get to a final thought in just a second, my friend. Don't you worry about that. But before we do, thank you, Mac, for joining us tonight. Appreciate it and all your musical wisdom. Rob, pleasure as always. I enjoy you being here every week. That's why we do this thing, and why we still do this thing after nearly 2.5 years, nearly 3 years of doing this together. We just have a good time. And if you want to keep on with the challenge, I know. And every time I tell you how long it's been, you always look shocked.
When you put it in years,
Yeah.
wow.
Yeah. Well, it's
How many
only
episodes is
nearly
that,
3
Ralph?
years in the sense that we're going to Japan next year, if that makes sense. So it's now 2024. So we're going to Japan next year. So then we've been doing this for 3 years, even though it's been maybe 2 and a bit. It's just easier. But no, thanks. If you guys have a favorite New Year's Eve song, something that you'd blast out, please let us know in the comments down below. Make sure you like, share, subscribe, do all the fun stuff. Tell your friends about us. And that's it. That's going to wrap us up for this episode of the That's Rank podcast. Rob, you're itching. You're itching for a final? You itching for a final?
Well, I think Mac's already said it.
Oh, you think Mac's already
You
done
can
the
say it
final?
again. Does Mac want a final thought? Does Mac want a final thought?
Mac, do you want to send us out with a final thought?
Let's be cool to each other and have a great new year, and just be cool. In the words of Jim Jeffries, I think we can all do better.
That's true. I like that. And let 2024 be better for everybody. Just be cool. Stay safe. Love each other. See you. Bye. See you next time. Wave, everybody. Wave. Rob's waving through the fireworks. Wow.